Well, the internet wouldn't be the internet without a bunch of people getting all up in arms about something they're not even sure is going to happen in a movie. I cannot wait for the next month plus of discourse regarding Terrifier 3. But for now, let's talk about that discourse and talk about the trailer a little bit. Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Terrifier 3. Now, I did not do a trailer reaction for Terrifier 3 on my channel for a few reasons. One, I don't really do trailer reactions anymore because, two, and mainly, a lot of times they get copyright striked and you can't monetize them or they just disappear from your channel. I used to love doing them. I think they're fun, especially for something that I'm really looking forward to, but I'm tired of jumping through the hoops with YouTube over it, so I just decided I'm not going to do that anymore. But this video is a two-parter, because first I'm going to talk about the trailer a little bit, and then I'm going to get into this discourse about Terrifier 3 that has been building, I think, for a few months now, and after the release of the trailer, has only intensified. So first off, I just want to say I was a huge fan of the trailer, and for a lot of reasons. It looks like it is keeping the exact same style and tone that the first two movies had. And I was worried about that. See, I've talked about the Terrifier movies on my channel before, and specifically after Terrifier 2 and the announcement of the third film, one of the worries I had was, wow, Terrifier 2 made like $15 million, which was huge for that movie. I really hope they don't go too gung-ho crazy with production budgets and really make this look like some glossy, overproduced Hollywood horror movie. And I'm happy to say by the trailer, and I had no reason to doubt Damien Leone, the movie looks just like the first two. This grindhouse, grimy, dirty, shot on film, just masterwork. And I'm really happy to see that, because Terrifier isn't Terrifier without the tone. You've got to have the same kind of look and feel the first two movies had. It has to flow together. Yes, it is a lot more successful now, and it is a known brand. I mean, hell, you're seeing Art the Clown all over Spirit Halloween. That's friggin' awesome. But you need to stay in line with what you set up with the first two movies, and I'm happy to see that it looks like they're doing that. I also just want to shout out my friend Brad over at Bloody Disgusting, as well as everybody over there involved. Everybody with Screambox, Damien Leone, every single person that is involved with the making of and distribution of this film. For sticking to what made Terrifier Terrifier. I know when you make a lot of money, it probably gets tempting to want to do things differently, and they're not, and I appreciate that. Now, the trailer itself, I mean, what more can you say about it? Like I said, it gave you everything you wanted. Looks like Terrifier, it sounds like Terrifier. You got a lot of great art moments in the trailer. You got a lot of peaks of some insane set pieces of gore and mayhem. I love it. You also have the Christmas aesthetic, which I think works so well with this movie, and I've always loved like blood on snow in film. I think it looks really pretty, and I'm just so freaking pumped for that. I also love that this is going to be like a movie you can watch at two different times of year. You can watch it in October for Halloween, and you can watch it in the Christmas season, and this is now a new Christmas horror movie, I guess. That's really, really cool. I also got hints in this trailer that we were going to get some answers, kind of. Some things that were touched on in Terrifier 2 that did not really get expanded upon, that Damien Leone said you're going to start to see answers in the third film, although this is not the planned final film. I like that. I don't want too much. You know, I don't want too much exposition, too many answers for art, for the backstory, any of that, but I want just enough. You know, it can't remain ambiguous forever. You can't do that forever, because it's really just going to be the same thing over and over again, and nobody wants that. I also want to shout out the horror royalty train continuing in Terrifier 3. It's really, really cool to see some of these stars that we have loved over the years coming back in cameo roles or potentially bigger roles. We really don't know yet. That's awesome to see. And with Terrifier 3, there is a lot more cachet behind this property now, and a lot more people were clearly willing to jump on board with it. And I hope that only continues with future installments in this series. So the trailer overall was a big thumbs up for me. I really, really enjoyed it. But the discourse I wanted to talk about is something that really started last year, last fall, when the teaser trailer for Terrifier 3 came out online. Now, I saw it in theaters when I went and saw the re-release for the second time of Terrifier 2 because I wanted the poster and I wanted to see the teaser trailer. And you heard murmurs of it after that, but once it came out online, you really started to see people talk about it. And then now, after this trailer, people are talking about it more. And that discourse is, oh my gosh, is art going to kill a child? I've really got to watch what I say here regarding this because I don't want YouTube to flag this video for insanely unfair and stupid reasons. But yes, I said what I said. That's the discourse. People are up in arms about that. Is it actually going to happen? And oh my gosh, I think it's going to happen. And why would you do that? That's so inhumane and messed up. Okay, lot to unpack there. So let me just say this to all of you clutching your pearls over that. First of all, this is nothing new in the horror genre. Nothing new at all. Halloween 2018 did it, which actually shocked me in the theater because I was like, oh damn, they went there. Pet Sematary did it in 1989 in one of the more impactful ways. You can go down the list of horror films throughout the decades that have done this. Now, some of them, like Pet Sematary, are more artsy with it. They don't show you it, but they give you enough of it to know what happened. You also get some truly morbid sequences with Gage immediately after and then in the third act of the movie, so it's not like they really shied away from that violence. But I think this is a super weird thing to be, clutching your pearls over. Reason number one is because we don't know. We genuinely have no idea. Whatever is alluded to in the trailer could simply just be there to spark this kind of conversation. Because what made Terrifier 2 such a big hit? Everybody was talking about how gross it was. Oh, it's insanely gory. It's over the top. It's going to make you vomit. People are passing out. Any kind of press is good press. Ask most politicians throughout their freaking lives, okay? Most press is good press. We'll say that. And for a movie like Terrifier 3, this is good press because people are going to want the answers and they're going to want to see if it does happen, how is that going to work? How's that going to come across? But again, we don't know that's going to happen. So all these people in an uproar on the internet about it, you're going to look really, really dumb if it's not in the movie. So I don't know. What did they say? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Secondly, would this be that weird for Terrifier to do? No, because Terrifier has been kind of not at all mainstream, not even R-rated, not anything that most normal casual moviegoers are supposed to be able to stomach. I mean, there are numerous scenes throughout the first two movies that are genuinely depraved. Everybody remembers the scene in the first film. That scene, I believe, is the scene that made Terrifier the phenomenon that it's become. That scene, from my experience too, when I first watched it, was when I was like, oh, damn, holy crap. And Terrifier 2 only continued to do stuff like that. So if there is a scene like that in this movie, whether it's heavily alluded to or explicitly shown, I don't think that's beyond the pale for Terrifier. Again, this is not going to be an R-rated movie. It's just not that. This is worse than that. Whatever you can conjure up in your mind for this clown to do to people, he's probably going to do to people. But the final point about this discourse for me personally is that it's just fiction. I have watched movies throughout my life spanning genres where certain things like this happen to kids in movies. It could be a drama. It can be a rom-com. It can be any kind of genre movie. And you've seen heinous things happen to younger individuals, whether it's explicit or heavily alluded to. This is nothing new. But I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying oh, well, it'll be easy to take if it happens. No. But we don't even know it's going to happen. And if it does, we don't know how it's going to be portrayed on screen. And even if it does, and it's portrayed on screen explicitly, again, Terrifier is a series that the gore is so over the top and zany, it's funny. It's not ultra realistic. There are different types of gore. I have always had this struggle as a horror fan. If a movie is super realistic in its gore, it'll actually be unsettling to me because I'm just that just hits too close to home. That looks real. That feels real. Terrifier isn't that way. It's never been that way. But again, we have no idea if it's going to happen or not. I am actually probably leaning on the side that it's not going to happen and that this is alluded to in some ways to create this kind of chatter online. That is what it's doing, and they're succeeding because they're geniuses. I just think that the pearl clutching is just so lame. It's such a weird look. It's like, can y'all wait to see what's going to happen in this movie? Can we not just create things out of thin air? Can we not just like assume the worst? Like, is that where we are as people? Have we become so cynical that we're just going to assume the worst in any given scenario? And that way we just, I don't know, want it to happen to validate that? It's just ridiculous. It's absurd. And like I said, if you want my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think you're going to have some insanely gory, over-the-top scene involving a younger individual with Art the Clown. I just don't think you're going to see it. Now, you saw some of that in the second movie. I mean, let's be honest. You could even make the argument that that kind of violence isn't new to this series based off of what happened in the third act of the second movie. Like, that was pretty brutal, and that was a kid. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. And I just think people are way too up in arms about this kind of stuff because, again, can you just wait? Can you have patience? And this is coming from somebody that lacks patience. But I want to hear down below in the comments section what you guys think. Do you expect Terrifier 3 to really do this? Do you think this is going to happen? Or do you kind of land on the side with me that I think it's just ginned up chatter on social media to get people talking about this movie? And if it is real, is it that big of a deal to you? I want to hear down below in the comments section. Please leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm pulling out.